Hello, gorgeous ones. Welcome in or welcome back. So, there's a lot of blame coming up at the moment. And part of healing or integrating the feminine psyche is balancing out the masculine and feminine energies within, and how the psyche has been split and fragmented and why. And a lot of this in men and women, but a lot of the human psyche has been fragmented through the ideology of patriarchy and the constructs and practices of that. So on our personal paths, we are the microcosm of all of that, and all of these energies reside within us and within our family and lineage patterns and the way that we relate to each other as men and women. And one of the things that we are doing as we move into wholeness, we're healing, we're expanding our consciousness, is healing these wounded parts between us as it plays out in our individual lives and between men and women and in our relationships. And a huge energy that comes when you get to the core of it within you. And for me personally, this has really been doing this work consciously in our relationship for 5 years. This playing out of old parts, integrating it, choosing the higher consciousness, taking it higher, choosing a different way to relate to each other, and seeing the relationship as a container and a vessel for growth and expansion and greater love. And being consciously aware of when these old parts are playing out between us, so that we can choose, we can reparent ourselves and then choose to take it higher and higher communication, right? And this last year for me, I've been going through my Chiron return, and this is one of the biggest healings of a lifetime. This is the integration of the wounded healer, that archetype that lives within us all and in the collective consciousness. And this very deep healing of like core wounding of the feminine, self-abandonment, and where we serve others before ourselves. And when we're unearthing the true self within that and coming back to wholeness and moving all these distortions out of the way, we have to face and look at where the core frequencies and energies of the old paradigm are anchored within us. And one of those is blame. Women hold, as women, because of everything that's happened and been done and what we've experienced, and it's in our lineage and it's in our blood and our DNA and our memory, our cellular memory, and there's this very heavy energy of blame towards the masculine. Now, you could say, and it's very alive right now, you could say it's very alive right now as well, because of everything that's being everything's being exposed right out in the world. And I'm not saying for a second, please don't jump on that, anybody. There are a lot of women to blame there as well. It's not about that. But what I'm saying is there could be a heightened with people's in this disclosure wave as well. It's bringing up people's wounds, right? And making people feel angry and all the feels about everything that's happened. So it could be there present because of that. But it's essentially present within all of us because of what we carry, because of the past trauma, and everywhere that we haven't felt safe. And because women, the feminine, as a sex, throat chakra clearing has been so suppressed, the voice has been suppressed. There's a lot of buried resentment, blame, and shame. And it's these very core, and these are the frequencies as well, and hatred. And these are the very core frequencies of lower vibrational ick, that are stuck like glue in our bodies, literally. They're like glue. It's like psychic glue in the thoughts, and it's like glue in the body. The trauma that's held there. And until we become conscious of it, of what's happening, and of our role in it, we will still identify with that and we'll still act it out. Part of the transcending individually and as a collective is transcending out of these frequencies, and therefore we must do it individually. As women, we must come to the place where we can stop individually. We come to terms and a peace with things and a healing point where we stop individually blaming. I mean, I've seen it. I've played it all out, as I said, in the last year. Huge, deep healing around this core archetype and wounded parts of my empath, what it means to serve in this world, where I serve from, dissolving of ego, complete ego death, one after the other, dissolving, dismantling, attachments, everything, all of it, wounded masculine. And these very, very deep, I've released a lot of rage, very core stuff, right? And blame. I've noticed a lot of blame coming up. I started feeling really like blaming my partner for things that really nothing to do with him. I mean, luckily we're in a conscious container, and we work with this stuff consciously, so it's all good. It's no drama, but to be able to really witness that and reflect on it, and where it could potentially, if you're not conscious of it, where it could potentially sabotage and derail, right? Because it contracts us and it takes us back to the familiar. We get defensive, we get fearful, we start projecting thoughts and feelings onto the other person, and it's actually not what's really happening in this moment. But that's the way old wounding works, isn't it? And it's buried so deeply, and it's in the collective psyche. That's what's healing. So it's rising to the surface, and until we can look at it with new eyes, until we can come at it with new consciousness, it's going to play the same role. It's going to perform the same part in our lives. And how does that look for our relationships? How does that play out? What does it allow or not? So this blame energy is kind of rampant. Like, where is it buried within you? All women have got such a core of like entanglement with the masculine, depending on what your experiences have been, right? Depending on where the trauma is hooked in there, that it forms this whole construct of beliefs, perspectives, behaviors, ways that we move around that, right? And that energy it's like it's a shadow part that's defensive, and it has a whole persona. And what's the energy underneath it, right? It's fear, it's resentment, it's blame. There's a huge energy of blame. If we're going to move forward, we need to be able to come from a space that transcends that. We have to be able to see it in parts, witness it, and come from a higher space. We have to come from a higher perspective that understands what's happening and has more acceptance, compassion, and can be and express from the clarity of the now moment, and not speak from the wounding of the past, not perform through that past part. And this is what's playing out a lot in relationships right now. Old energy, old parts. And where we reach our limit of our current consciousness and ability to witness it and show up differently. So whatever parts you're dealing with at the moment, I'm sending you lots of love. And remember that your consciousness is the microcosm of everything that's happening. But all we can really control is what's inside, and our perspective, our state of being. That's why it's crucial that we acquire the tools and devote the focus to cultivating ourselves on a daily basis to achieve that. Until next time.